Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is the Basic Builder back bringing you another Valheim building video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. As you can see on the lower right hand screen, you can see the picture and the reference that we're going to be using today to build this small little blacksmith's house, which is one of the things that I love building the most in Valheim is little blacksmiths and small little builds like this. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started in the build. Alright, the first thing I want to do is kind of take a look at the left hand side of this picture and get kind of a reference of how big and what scale basically I want to build this on. I got me a nice little flat piece of land here, just right here in the meadows, and so we're going to kind of start laying this out and kind of seeing what we can kind of come up with. So I'm thinking the front porch area is going to be around 3 meters wide. So I want to go ahead and start down and lay down 3 meters. And you can see on either side, it looks like we'd come out about another meter for the back portion of things. Now this can be built with stone and wood, or you can build it straight out of wood. So for this video, let's see, would we have stone at this point? Iron, we can go ahead and use stone. So I think that'll be good. So I got my layout here, and now what we're going to kind of come in and do is lay out the actual building and the front entrance itself. So I'm going to keep this kind of small. So we got our porch right here on these 3. We got our front entrance, and now our actual house part itself is going to be laid out right here. So we're going 3 meters by 2 meters in the depth for the front porch and for the main entrance into the house. So now to kind of keep the roof even is we can go 1, 2, and 3. Kind of keeping it small, and that way when we come out, when we do our roof, we'll have 4 total, which should give us a pretty good even roof pitch. So 1, 2, and 3. Let's kind of lower this down a little bit so we can get all of that in there. Perfect. And now let's go ahead and lay this all the way across, and we are going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. All right, now I'm seeing something here in my little land clearing, so we're going to go in and clear out a little bit more of this. So let's knock that out really quickly. I guess I could have turned the building, but that's all right. Okay, almost there. I want to leave a little bit of room for that chimney area, and this will also be good because we can use the hearth, and that will also give us should give us heat for the living quarters and all that for this house. So, and it'll just make everything look good. All right, so let's level that out. Perfect. All right, so what we're going to do now is come back to the front porch, and we're going to go ahead and raise it up 1 meter. All right, and we're going to put that on all the intersections so we'll know kind of where we want to be. Just as a reference, we will be using stone, so we know that the stone pieces will be 1 meters as well. So if you don't want to do this part, you can skip that part. So that's how we're going to be here. Now let's go ahead and take our stone. So you'll need the stone cutter. For the purposes of this video, I am going to be in creative mode, so just bear with me there. Now we want to make sure that that is touching, so I'm going to actually take out that one piece. I want it on the ground. Perfect. All right, clear that out. Now let's continue laying this on out. And you can see, because it's lining up against the wood, it's not going to be on the ground itself. So we got to fix that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take all that out. What we'll do is, as we're going through, we'll replace all of that. Okay. So let's go ahead, sit that on the ground like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Did we get it right? I don't think we got it right, so we're going to come back and do it again. All right. What I want to make sure is that we are sitting flush on the ground. So if we do this, let's see what that does. Let's just see if it falls for us. I don't think it will. And I could technically do it this way. So let's do that because I really want this structure to work right. Okay. So perfect there. Line that up, line that up, line that up, line that up. And we're going to come back, and we did that wrong, so let's take that out like so. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right, now we can come in and line it up like that. There we go. Now we're going to continue jumping around like we're on fire. There we go. This should be much better for us. We're on the ground. We're going to be stable. Okay. Now we can go ahead and fill in our blocks as we normally would for this build. So using the blocks on the interior like this will make it kind of small. So just keep that in mind as you're building. If you're wanting to get as much room as possible, consider using maybe just the stone as the foundation, which I think we actually may end up doing in this build, and using the wooden walls on top of the stone. I think that'll look good. All right, so we've got that layout done. Let's go ahead and put this in. It looks like they're using a darker stone here for the front. You could use that, but we're going to go ahead and use wood instead. And I like to, in my builds, just to give a little bit of depth and everything, is use the half wall, but turn it to the outside so you have that beam kind of facing across. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, now we're going to go ahead and put in our stairs. And so because we're going to be sitting a little bit higher, like so, we're going to raise that up. Perfect. And now we're going to go ahead and put in our floor. Alrighty. And for this build, let's go ahead and put the floor in for all of it. All right. There, 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 and there. There, 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 and there. All right. So now we kind of have our layout. It looks big from the outside, but it's really not going to be too much big on the inside. And I think all we're going to do is go up 2 stories as well. All right. The next thing I like to do, and you can do this too depending on how much wood you have, is give the foundation kind of that border around. Okay. It just adds a little bit more detail to your builds. So, and it's easy to do. So if you want your builds to look good, I would highly recommend doing that. Okay. There we go. Now we know we're going to put a door in, so let's go ahead and get our door position ready. Like so. All right. So we know our door is going to go in right there. For this outside edge, we can go ahead and do this also. All right, perfect. Now we're going to go and put on every corner, we're going to make it 2 meter beams stacked twice. Okay, this is going to be our first floor. Now I want to put it on every corner. And then we'll come back in and fill in our walls where we want to put a window or anything like that. Okay. 1, 2. Oh, look at there. 1 and 2. Perfect. All right. So I'm thinking for this build, let's go ahead and put in a window right here and right here, here, and here. You can't see the back of this image, so we want to give our person a nice big window. Now over here on this side, obviously we're going to have that overhang. It looks like in the picture against that wall there may be a little bit of storage. We're not going to incorporate that storage right there. even though we probably could. But let's go ahead and put one more window in right here as well. Perfect. All right, now what we want to do is go ahead and fill in the gaps on the top with our horizontal 2-meter beam. So you can use regular wooden planks, you can use the core wood. It's just really what your preference is, how you want your little blacksmith build to look as you're building along, I hope. If you're not building along, well, just enjoy the video and enjoy the thought processes of going through this. All right, next thing I want to do is let's go ahead and put in our 1-meter wooden wall like this again, with that little spot or little beam, this part down here on the bottom hanging out on the outside. Okay, so we're going to continue working on around, around. There we go. So now what we're going to do is go in again. I want to carry that detail around. Take our horizontal 2-meter again and go ahead and place it around. Just kind of breaks up the layers, and we all like having a little bit of layer. Okay, now what we want to do is let's go ahead and get our core wood. Let's do a core wood. I think that would be pretty. So we're going to do core wood filler for our walls like so. 2, 3, 4, and 6. So we're going to have quite a bit of different of material usage here. Stone, core wood. So yeah, and let's make this window a little bit taller. Come on. And we're going to just put in the wall like that. There we go. I think that looks nice. All right, let's continue on. 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. All right. Let's fill it in. Okay. Alrighty. Now here we're gonna have like so. Okay. There and there. 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 Perfect. All right. So let's continue filling in the wall. This is kind of a tedious process. You know, it could be a lot faster if we were using, let's say, the regular walls, but I want this build to look nice. Everybody likes a nice looking build. Perfect. This will take quite a bit of core wood. If you have the time, you can count it all, but we're not going to count it. Now for this one, let's go ahead and use this bigger one. That way we fill the gap in pretty quickly, okay? Do the same thing here. There we go. Now for the window, we're going to do the same thing as we did over on that window and leave it at the same height. Like so. Perfect. Now what we want to do is get up to the next floor. So let's figure out where we want to put our stairs in. Because this is a smaller area, if we use this one, it's going to take quite a bit of work. We can try it. We can put in a stair there. We can put in a stair there. Problem with this is it's going to interfere with our window, and I don't want that to happen. So what I'm preferring to do is let's use the ladders and let's double it up. Okay. So we can do this and this, which will give us plenty of areas to store stuff up under as well. That's one of the reasons why I like to use the ladders in these smaller builds. There we go. Now we can actually get up to the second floor and still leave plenty of floor space. All right. So we are going to be a little bit oblonged here. It's not going to be quite looking square like the picture. Again, the picture is only for reference. So now we're just going to fill in this top spot here. Alrighty, so we're going to carry that on over, and I'm imagining that this top spot's going to be like the living quarters. Alright, so what I want to do is kind of leave a little bit of an open gap there. You can close it up, you can fill it in a little bit more, but I prefer not to. That's just my personal opinion. You may do whatever you would like. Alright, so now we're going to put in a railing there, and now we need to close this part off as well, because we know we're going to have a roof hanging over right there. Okay. For this second level, we're going to again go around and put in our 4 corner beams, like so. But this time we're just going to go with the 1 meter on top instead of the 2 meter. Because the roof will give us quite a bit of headroom, so there's no need for it. And then one of the things I like to do as well, just to kind of give the front of the building a little bit of character, is just add in some beams here and there. Probably, let's see here, do we want to put a window? We'll probably put a window in over on this side, just right over the center here, just to give a little bit of light coming in, but nothing else. No other windows there. So we'll match what we did over there on the bottom for this part as well. All right, so now we can take our 2 meters and let's close it all off again. Alrighty, this is going to look nice, I hope. No, it'll look good. It'll look really, really good. Alright, perfect. Now, so I don't want it to look like a log cabin all the way up, so we're going to use the regular wood for this point. And so we're going to just fill it in all the way around. Again, rotating it around so the flat side is on the inside. And rotated the wrong way there. Perfect. Got rid of that piece of wood. If you are building and you want to get rid of material that falls down pretty quickly, L is your friend. That will remove your drops for you. Now we're going to go in, put in this 2 meter half beam again. Let's take that one out, and I'm going to tell you the reason why here in a minute. Let's finish with our 2 meters first. Make sure we place them in the right direction. Now on this one, we're going to go ahead and put in the 1 meter, and then for our window, rotate. Perfect. All right. Now the last thing we want to do is let's go ahead and fill in the rest of the gaps with our regular 2 meter wood, like we're doing now. We can decorate the outside of it, kind of make it look fancy here in just a little bit. All right, now for the railing, I'm going to take we have iron at this point. You could have iron railing. We could do this. For the sake of this build, let's do this. If not, you could technically, if you really, really wanted to, one of the things that I like to do is take the 2 meter beam, shift place it in place, and do that as well. That also looks really nice. But let's throw a little bit of iron into here. Let's just run with it. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to fly for the rest of this. So here we are. This is our current build. Kind of plain on this side, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and put a roof over. So we're going to take our 1 meter horizontal beam and place it right on the outside edge where the front entrance is, and place it directly out. And you're going to rotate it 90 degrees and place it like this. So we're going to essentially, we're making our angle, our peak angles and stuff. Okay. Next thing we wanted to do is, because this is going to be kind of lower, let's take our 2 meter or our 26-degree beam like so, and let's put it just like that. Okay. Now on the inside, to fill this gap, let's go ahead and take our 26-degree like that, and then we'll put in our X. There's a way you can get around that if you are a little bit patient. You can technically hold down the shift button and potentially shift place these in, but it's a little bit more difficult. And now you're going to see that it's off, right? So you got to play around with it a little bit. But oh, that's the reason why it's off as well. We can try it again. Let's get this piece snapped in like that. Perfect. Again, let's see here. How can we do this? Take a 1 meter beam like so. Let's do it like that. That way we can kind of use it as a guide, essentially. Like so. And like so. Okay. That will work. So now you can get rid of that guide. Okay. And we're going to leave that there because we're going to use that as we're going to do this right here. We're going to go ahead and take the 26 again and shift place it in place. It adds a little bit of depth to your build. Okay. Do that, and now you can come back in and place your half wall piece like so, and cap it off on the inside here while we don't close it up yet. There you go. Now you got a nice looking front entrance. Perfect. All right. Now the last thing I like to do to help guide me putting the roof pieces on is to put in these anchors here, essentially. Alrighty, so we're going to do that and that. Now we can go ahead and throw in our 26-degree roof. We can use the tar. We won't use the tar. Nope, we're not using the tar. As much as I want to use the tar, we're not using the tar pieces. Reason for that is we haven't unlocked it yet for this stage of build. Okay, so we're going to use the thatch, and the thatch is going to look just great. 26, 26. There we go. So now you got your front porch cover on, and it looks great. You can also decide if you want to. You can cap it off a little bit on the top right there, and you can throw in like a decoration or anything like that if you wanted to. Okay, so now that we've got that done, this is also going to be what we call a gable end. We're going to do this as a gable end as well. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to carry it on around like so. Same style, front and back. Front and back. Let's see if we can get this down here. Perfect. Alrighty, now for this, let's start out with the 26 degrees. You can see it's turning a little bit yellow. That's okay. 26 degree again twice, and then let's do the 45 in the middle. Let's see, how's that gonna look? Not too tall. I like it. Again, we don't need all that headroom, so that in mind. All right, 26, 26, 26, and 26, perfect. And 45 in the middle. Just like so. Now what we want to do is take our horizontal 2 meter. Let's go ahead and connect those up like that. Let's go ahead and let those fall like that. All right, so the reason why it's going to be falling is we need a little bit of stability, so we'll put that out on the front here in a minute. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and now run these across and hope it doesn't fall. Shouldn't fall. Kind of a span, but it shouldn't fall. 2, 1. There we go. Now we can actually put our roof in. But first, what we want to do is go ahead and close this gap, right? So let's go ahead. We know here we're going to need the 26 degrees. So let's get those in place. Like so. Then we're going to repeat the same thing on the back. Get this thing to snap in. Alright. Now for this part, we're going to go ahead and let's make a window here. I know there's no window in the concept art, but again, this is our build, not the exact concept art build. Now, what we'll have to do here is we're going to shift place to fill in, I believe. That's what we're going to need to do. Let's see here. Can we throw the 26 degree in like so? We can. All right. We're going to use the 26 degree as kind of a guide, essentially. So now what we're going to do is use shift, hold it down, and fill in these gaps right up here. Okay. Just like so. We want to just fill those gaps in. If you really want to really close it in, you can come back in and shift place up against the ones that we just placed. Don't have to do that. Not necessary. Now, last thing we want to do is kind of line this up. You can, technically, you could just click it and snap it in, which we just might as well go ahead and do. And then hold shift and place right here. Right there. There. So now the gap is completely closed in. It looks great. We want to put in our window, so actually we need to remember to put in our 1 meter by 1 meter and rotate. That looks nice. Let's repeat that. Let's repeat that. Okay, so we did our half wall and our half wall. We have our let's see here. Let's go ahead and get our 26 in. 26, 6, 26. We put in a half wall there? No, we did not. But we put in a window. Interesting. This is going to be like a big double window. Hope y'all enjoyed that one. It wasn't planned that way. Okay. So now let's close that in and continue on up. That's going to look good. Not going to lie. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get this closed in. We got to get rid of this tree really quickly. Unfortunately, we're going to use this fancy cheat sword that you can get in dev commands. We want it to be able to see what we're doing here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and place like so. Making sure that we get it on the X itself. Okay. There we go. Closed it in. 26 degrees. Should line up just fine. And last but not least, let's get that lined up nicely. There we go. And as easy as that, we have our roof pitch done. I've just now noticed that we didn't use our half, which we need it. Like that. And close it off. Okay. We need to make sure we do that over here as well, and we didn't do it. Look at there. Didn't follow our own standard. Let's go back and get that done really quick. Perfect. Alright, good. Now, what we're going to do is go ahead and let's roof it. Get it roofed. Hopefully we should be pretty good. We should be green. This roof should tie it all in together nicely. Make sure we're snapping it to the right locations. It's okay if it kind of sticks out a little bit, if those X's do stick out. No big deal. Alrighty. Oh, let's go ahead with the rest of it. And like I said, we're going to come back in. We're going to secure up the corners there. We're going to secure them up and everything will be good. The roof is standing. You technically don't have to. Last thing we're going to do is take our horizontal pieces and put them in like that. There we go. We have the blacksmith house built. Does it look like the concept art? Sort of not, but that's okay. Now what we need to do, let's get a door in so we don't get any crazy intruders. And I'm going to shift place this in because I want it to be kind of offset a little bit, because if you snap it to the front, I don't like that. So let's do that, right? Like so. Kind of gives a nice depth. Opens up. You're good. There you go. Beautiful. All right, now let's get some stone flooring in around here where the blacksmith part's going to be. That looks good. Perfect. All right, so now what we want to do is build this hearth, which is almost pretty much connected to the house itself. So I want to take the stone and I want to build it off the bottom here. So we're going to come over 1, 2, and let's go ahead and do 3, and 2 and 3, and let's have it inset a little bit there. 2 and 3. Okay, so now we want to take our hearth and let's get it positioned where we want it to be. That looks pretty even. Now we can build up our fireplace around it. Okay, so we want to build it kind of in some layers, so we're going to go 1, 2, and did we line up on that? It did. There we go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this done. One of the things that I like to do is take the pillars and double them up a little bit like so, and then we're going to leave it like that. Okay, now let's go ahead and continue building this up. Boom, boom, boom. And kind of offsetting the blocks a little bit to kind of make it look like those bricks. Okay, so we're up to a pretty good height there. It looks like it's kind of capped off a little bit, so let's kind of cap it off a bit. Okay, we're going to do this using our blocks, kind of leaving a little bit of opening there, and we're going to put the arches in. I think that'll look nicely, or look nice. Can't speak. Let's get our arches put in. There we go. Yeah, that'll be nice. You can put some kind of storage. You can use that as a... You can use it just about whatever you want to. If you really didn't like that, you could actually use the pillars and set them inside if you wanted to. Okay. All right. So now that we have that, let's take our stone stairs and let's place them in. Let's see. Do we do it that way? I want to leave a gap. Let's think about this one. How do we want... Let's just actually do this. Alright. That should be plenty of room for it to breathe still. So now we're going to build this up a little bit. Just like we just did. And we'll look just fine. Perfect. All right, getting a little bulky there, but that's all right. Now what we want to do is come in and place these like so. So all we're doing is closing the gap in. And we'll test this out here in a minute. Make sure it's going to breathe. Let's actually do that now. Let's throw a piece of wood in there. Make sure it's not going to smoke out the side. Make sure the smoke comes out the top. I'm going to find out. Here it comes. I hope. Give it a minute. There it goes. So it is breathing. As you can see, as the gap gets tighter, it still breathes. Alright, so this chimney is pretty tall. So let's continue our same pattern all the way up. Follow the same pattern all the way up. Alright. It's looking mighty good. Last but not least, what I want to do is shift place a couple stone pieces. I really want to kind of square this off a little bit, if that makes any sense to you. If that makes any sense. Don't know how well that's going to do, but we're going to try it anyways. I know if I close it off like that. Let's see here. I have enough room to escape. Now it's going to get smothered out. Okay. So for this part of it, let's use the wood. Let's use the wood. Let's make it decorative. Okay. Give a little decoration to it. And we're only going to go about 2 meters or so high. It should be protected. Let's see if that helps. That's allowing it to breathe. It appears like it's not going to allow it to breathe if you put it right on the edge. So this is where the fun's going to begin. We got to let it breathe, right? And now we're going to have to manually put these pieces in. So it looks like we did pretty good. Here. Yeah. Still breathing, so that's good. That was first time luck. First time luck. Alright, last one. There we go, still breathing. If it rains, it should be okay. And now we're just going to go ahead and cap it off with our horizontal pieces. So there we go. Fireplace is built. Perfect. It's big. Almost as big as the house, but it looks awesome. I think so anyways. Alright, so one of the things you could do is take the stairs to add a little bit of decoration. You can do that on all the sides if you want to, which we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Like so. Like so. There we go. That just kind of cleans up and makes it not look so square. Okay. Alright, now what we want to do is go ahead, let's get our cover in. So it looks like it comes right off of this edge here, so we're going to take our 26 degree and bring it up from pretty high. And let's see here. Yeah, let's do that, and we'll make a pergola style right here. Pergola is going to be kind of like you don't know what that is. It's essentially an awning. If that makes any sense. Just an awning. So that's what we're going to do, is make an awning. And what we can do is carry this awning all the way around, like so. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and throw in some core wood as support for this. This area over here is going to be open and exposed, whereas the other area will not be. So let's just do this. This is going to be roofed. Let's go ahead, get our 26-degree pieces in. That way we have room to put in our forge and stuff like that. Then over here, maybe we can have the upgrades and stuff. I think that'll look nice. Okay. So this area now looks different, looks decent, but I don't like how flat this is. So let's figure out what we can do to make it look a little bit nicer. So we can take our 26-degree roof. You can always go up, but for some reason you can't go back down. So let's take it like that. So you can see the gap is a little bit off, but we should be able to fix that by lifting this up. Okay, let's do that. Let's snap there. There we go. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we want to come down about that far. By just shift placing that, we're using it as a guide. There we go. And now you can remove those pieces there. And it'll look just fine. And again, we're going to go ahead and tie this in like that. And let's continue that on. It's like so. Take your horizontal 1 meter pieces there, and you should be good to go. Perfect. All right. So I'm not sure if it's going to have enough covering, but let's go ahead and get our forge put in place against this wall. It's probably going to be too exposed to use, but it's not. So that's good. Now you can repair everything. There we go. Perfect. Now we can just decorate it however you want. I want to get the anvil kind of close by, kind of as a centerpiece right here next to the fire. Rotate it a little bit. That's going to look nice. Let's get the forge cooler kind of. Let's see here. Forge cooler needs to be kind of right there. And let's get. See here. Do we have chains, so we can use the bellows. We can use the bellows as kind of a decoration piece as well. Reaching over there, it's not reaching yet. That'll reach there. Let's move our forge cooler because the forge cooler seems to have a further reach. Take our bellows. It has to be really, really close. So one of the things you could do is if you really wanted to upgrade, you could actually sink in into the fireplace some of your upgrades. Okay, so let's just use it like, let's do this. Let's remove that and remove that. Okay, let's go ahead and get our bellows put in first. No, not our first. Let's get our forge put in first. Excuse me. And let's put our forge maybe right here in front of the fireplace, just make it really, really hot. Okay. And you can put your bellows in. Then we could put in our there. Then last but not least, we could put our anvil in right there. That looks good. Yeah. We got iron, so technically we could put in that there. You got a pretty highly upgraded. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4 things already in there to upgrade your forge. if you really wanted to keep going, because our bellows was just deer hide and chain, you get that in the black forest or in the swamp, where you get iron. That's iron. This is bronze, so you really could upgrade this forge and make it look really, really nice. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, really, I mean, we can decorate a little bit on the outside here, but it's not required. You just really wanted to make your fireplace and forge area look nicer, good. But like I said, it's not required. Put that in. I'll put that in the wrong spot. Take that out. But yeah, it's really not required. And again, if you were going to decorate, I would highly recommend go ahead and doing that prior to putting all your stuff in. So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the way that this turned out. I hope you enjoyed this style of build video. It's kind of just my thought process, my explanation on things. Could have been a shorter video, absolutely, but I really wanted to make sure that I got my point across as to what you could do with this style of video. I'm going to go in off the screen, do a little bit more decoration, and then come back with some cinematics at the very, very end. So thank you all for stopping by, watching the video, watching this tutorial. It may be a little bit long than normal, but I really wanted to show this build process and how you can really take concept art that you find online and apply it to Valheim and use it as inspiration for your build. So again, thank you all so much. I do greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Consider subscribing. For all you returning viewers, thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for pushing me over my goal well before the end of the year, and we exceeded that goal tremendously. So I'm very happy with the progress of the channel and how it's growing. I'm looking forward to next year, more builds, Mistland builds, new materials. I'm excited about it. A lot of good things are coming. Working with you know, some friends of mine. We're looking to do some community stuff as well, so stick around. You don't want to miss out. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support the channel financially, there are memberships available. When we do launch the community server, that will be one of the perks on the channel to get into that server. I'm not going to do that yet until Mistlands drops. So I want to get all the content done for Mistlands before we really jump into the server and y'all have the chance to play along with me. Maybe some friends, who knows. So again, thank you all so much, do appreciate it, and stick around to the end for the cinematics. Until then, see you in the next video. Bye guys. All right, let's do this little walkthrough here now that I've completely decorated the exterior and interior of Blacksmith house. So you can see we got a little courtyard here, we got some plants going. Got a little fence area and some carts, some stones, you know, just decoration to chunk it all up. We have fixed this old dilapidated building in the background. We actually put in a few little things on the inside. So you got all the resources you need. Put up a little railing around the smelter and the wow, my mind went blank. Charcoal maker thingy. So anyways, let's walk on into the inside. Nothing too special. We did put up our blacksmith sign. I just love making that sign using the iron buckler and the item stand as well as actual sign itself. Got a nice little bench or seat there. Got a welcome rug. Nothing too fancy on the inside. It's always got more potential to expand and make it as you progress through the game to make it nicer. Got lots of storage, got some storage cabinets down here, you know, all that good stuff. Now I can't close it. That's okay. Got a bench and all that, got some storage up underneath it. Moving on to the upstairs, you got a nice bed up here, storage to put all your good stuff, as well as storage from behind the bed itself. So, yeah, really cool. Using the black banners to keep in touch with the outside and bringing the outside in. Got a little item stand for your armor, and then you got these wall torches that are kind of brought down, and it look like candles. So yeah, a little bit of artwork. So yeah, nothing too fancy. A lot of fun though. This has been a really fun, simple build that anybody can build in game. You can build this from almost the very beginning once you go into the Black Forest to get your Surtling cores to create your smelters in your kiln. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank y'all so much for coming by and watching this video, doing this little walkthrough. Again, I do greatly appreciate it. If you learned something new, let me know down in the comments what you learned the most. Or little tips and tricks that you want to take away from this, and also let me know if you want to see more builds like this in the future on the channel. So until then, guys, thank y'all, and we will see you in the next building video. Take care. Bye bye.